Jerry Lane Enterprises and Courtesy Motors present Paradise, Louisiana. Also brought to you by
Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Denny's Car Wash and Oil Change, Cracker Barrel Convenience Stores. We have more than you expect. Always fresh, never frozen, Raising Cane's. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana, Farm Bureau Insurance, Louisiana Fish Fry Products, Demco, First South Farm Credit, Area Wholesale Tire Company, with tire programs for tire dealers.
Welcome to the Duck Edition of Paradise, Louisiana, here at TJ Ribs and the Dine. I guess I could say it's all about the ducks because we're going to introduce the rest of the state that don't know him to Mr. Brett Pruitt. He's the Cohort National Champion, the Bass National Champion, the College National Champion. That's another champion from Louisiana. And we're going to introduce you to a fine young man and a great fisherman. Don, we tremendous duck hunts. We got the study leader right now, the Waterfowl study leader. Mr. Larry Reynolds coming on, and we got a little stuff from you. Plus, two great hunts. And let me tell you what, Don, it's just unbelievable what we're seeing. I don't know if I need Larry to tell me where the ducks were this time, but it's really helpful.
Well, I'm back from Pennsylvania. We'll tell you a little bit about the deer hunting. I was successful up there, but also had a little bit of a big disappointment in a trophy buck, and I'll tell you that story. Plus the fishing report. The fishing has really turned on in a lot of places where those speckled trout were missing. We're getting good reports now. Things are great in Louisiana. It truly is a paradise right now.
That's it. So we got more to come, and so we can show you all the fun stuff. Let's go out right now. If you're watching Paradise, Louisiana, just stay tuned.
At Jerry Lane, they rolled the red carpet out for me.
It's always been Jerry. You know what? It's tradition, it's family, and that's what keeps us coming back to Jerry Lane. Get in the lane, get in the lane. Get in the lane, get in the lane. Get in the lane, get in the lane.
We're a Jerry Lane family.
All roads lead to. You can count on Jerry Lane.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
I've been a Blue Cross customer for 19 years.
No matter what happens to me, no matter where I am, I can pull out my card and I know I'm going to be covered and not have any issues.
Blue Cross Blue Shield is going to be there for you no matter what you run into.
They stand behind you when you're in need.
They look out for my well-being. They have my best interest at heart.
You couldn't ask for a better insurance.
Blue Cross Blue Shield is the best.
I wouldn't dare change from Blue Cross. They've been there for me.
Well, don't you love it when you discover something new? While grocery shopping the other day, I discovered something new in the baking section. It's Louisiana Fish Fry Products Cobbler Mix. This is really simple to use, and not only that, it tastes great. All you have to do is combine their mix with milk, butter, and fresh or canned fruit. Place in the oven in less than an hour, you have a delicious fruit cobbler that provides the perfect ending for any meal. So if you're heading out to the hunting or fishing camp this weekend, satisfy your sweet tooth with Louisiana Fish Fry's Cobbler Mix.
I can't believe y'all brought me out in the blind and we ain't got no food. Man, I'm hungry.
Don't worry, Gary. This will be over quick.
Thanks to our sponsor, Raising Cane's and Todd Grays, a real Louisiana sportsman and conservationist, with true aim and sure shot, giving back to Louisiana.
Good job, girl. That's a better retrieve than any duck. Cane's, the official chicken of Louisiana outdoors.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. We're at TJ Ribs on Acadian in Baton Rouge, and this is a long way from Indiana, Pennsylvania, where I just came back from.
Indiana, Pennsylvania.
Indiana, Pennsylvania.
You know, we were seeing they got cold and snow on the East Coast. You caught a little bit of it and then it turned warm, didn't it?
It did. It kind of warmed up a little bit, but we did get a little bit of sleet and some snow that didn't stay on the ground. But it was a great trip. Rick Gottardi, a guy who was born and raised in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, and his friends from high school that have never stopped hunting together. They've got a great camp called the Duck Out Lodge, located on top of a hill. The guy, Greg Striddy, he's kind of the camp manager, and everybody pulls their own weight. They have a really good time up there, and I had a great time as their guest. They don't hunt on Sundays. That's one difference. They only allow tags for one doe and one buck, and that buck has to have 3 points or better on one side. And most of what they hunt is with bows. I was hunting with a crossbow. They've only got about a short 9 to maybe 2 week season for the firearms. So most of them are hunt with archery equipment, and that's not hard to take a deer up there. You see a lot more deer up there in Pennsylvania than you'll ever see here. The terrain is gorgeous. It's hilly. We might even call it mountains up there if you got to look at it. I bagged a nice doe, and turkeys abound up there too. The wild turkeys, they have a fall season. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get on any turkeys, but I did have a big disappointment. I had a trophy buck. I'm talking about a very mature, probably a 4.5-year-old 8-point that came by, and the bow that I had gotten blew up on me. The limb split. I borrowed a bow. That bow got broken up, and I was shooting with a compromised piece of equipment, and because it wasn't holding that arrow down, shot low on that deer and he ran off. So it just gives me a good reason to go back up there again. But a great trip, great.
They're historically known for big bucks too, just like in Missouri and some of the others.
They have got some really big deer, but part of it is because of their management program where they allow those bucks to move into that bigger and older age class and produce them. So all in all, it was a great trip, and I'm looking forward to go back up there. Met some new friends, did the radio show with them, and they're just a great bunch of people. Pittsburgh Steelers fans, by the way, and Pirate fans.
Why wouldn't it be?
All right, we'll be back with more Paradise, Louisiana.
It's that time of year to get your gear. Visit ParadiseLouisiana.com and click Shop to get your official merchandise online. Whether hunting, fishing, or just enjoying all Louisiana has to offer, get geared up at ParadiseLouisiana.com.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
We're your friends.
We are your neighbors.
We are your brothers.
Your sisters.
Your sons.
We
are your family.
Because whether it's our team or our loyal customers, the Courtesy family extends far beyond our dealerships. And it's our continued commitment to putting people first that has made us the #1 selling domestic auto dealer in Acadiana. Who are we?
We
are Courtesy.
Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood. Because we're based in Louisiana, with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. We're at TJ Ribs on Acadian and Baton Rouge, and Gary, you came straight here from Pecan Island, so that trip ought to be fresh in your memory. How was it?
This is a story about, so I'm gonna start with Todd. Todd Graves. Todd went over there and he wanted to be the way he wanted to food some of the kids and bring up things, and he didn't want to mess our hunt up, so he told me. So he set up another lease he has over there. It's a Pecan Island hunt. Todd fixed this up for us, and he had a good friend, Rolf Walsh, and some of his buddies, and they had it set up. His daddy, Mr. Alan Walsh, another lawyer, and Dr. Phil Castanet. They had let us hunt 2 days. The first day was unbelievable. Everybody was limbing out, and everybody was back at the camp early. The second day, we was depending on whether we're gonna hunt, get wet, early, but it says it's supposed to be there about 6:30, but my weatherman, Gary Krause, said, let's go ahead and chance it, and be ready, and we'll get it early because that's when they're flying and get out, and that's what we did. Great hunt, great people. Here we're doing Pecan Island Hunting Club.
I'm Alan Walsh. I'm from Baton Rouge, and
We've been hunting this lease in Vermilion Parish now for about almost 20 years, and we're glad to have you this morning, and we got a bunch of fine guys down here enjoying the hunt and looking forward to it, and everybody be safe and be careful.
Gerald Block, Thibodeau, Louisiana.
Sherrod Bird, Thibodeau, Louisiana.
Ben Bird, Thibodeau, Louisiana.
Lee Higginbotham from Baton Rouge.
Bo Higginbotham from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Eric Graham from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Danny Kinley from Marion, Louisiana.
Phil Gastadell. I'm from Baton Rouge. I live in Sunshine.
My name's Larry Deason. I'm from Marion.
Coming straight in.
Watch to your left, coming in. Straight in front, Cup down.
Come on, man. Gary and I sitting here with Dr. Phil. We're waiting on Don Dubuque to call us. You ain't gonna believe it. It's almost like Argentina right here. I've never seen so many teal. I've been on some great teal hunts. I've seen them, but these are flocks of thousands, not flocks of hundreds. These are flocks of thousands. It's unbelievable. If we want to just shoot teal, we'd be through a long time ago. But Doc about ready to get quit. I ain't gonna let him shoot my limit. I'm gonna make him put his gloves on and sit down in a minute. It's unbelievable. Dr. Phil, you're one of the best shots I ever saw.
Oh.
This is Bella, and Bella is a 4-year-old lab. Mother's Chip Simone's dog, Belle, who just passed away this year. And her father is Beamer. It was owned by Louis Dijon. And she is a phenomenal dog. No, she's a small dog. Her mother was small. And Chip's dog that he kept from the litter, Chip obviously being I believe Louis didn't want one of the dogs in that. So he gave Chip the pick of the litter, and Chip picked a little kind of a red, real red colored yellow lab.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, isn't that something?
We do 2 weeks in a row on the most decorated lab in North America, in Beamer, and then I get the hunt with one of his puppies. It's unbelievable.
Take
Good boy, good boy.
Get it. Back. Back. I'm in front, dude. Your side. Woo! Woo! Woo!
Duck in there, Louis. Straight out, Doc. Straight out, Doc.
Okay,
Hey, girl.
Same time, there's another one in fire. He's on him.
Whoa, you got two? Check. Check pitch.
They came right at it.
I've hunted with Alan for a few years here. We own some land just north on the other side of the lake, or to the side of the lake. And after Rita, the marsh became pristine over there. And we'd go out and sometimes see 5,000 ducks on a pond. It was spectacular. It was one of those where you could limit out in 5 or 10 minutes.
How many I saw total? Like
how many
hundreds
birds
of
you
thousands? Or would you like to narrow it down to how many we shot and how many we missed?
On the radio. You right?
It's the most ducks I've ever seen in my life.
At one time.
In one area, in a matter of hours.
The second split's usually better, but
Are you serious?
well, not every year.
I hope I get to get that. Alan Walsh, thank you so much for the invitation. Your son Ross going back again. That's when young people got them young kids, you got to do both. And
That's
how
right.
they working in, and they can run.
Yeah, and he's the coach of that team, so he's got to be there.
Yeah,
so,
he's a great deal. And Dr. Phil, you shot amazingly today. I enjoyed being in the blind with you. We found out we had a lot of things in common. We found out his dog was trained. I mean, his dog is the daughter of Beamer, who we've been shooting the last 2 weeks, his story on, and I've been around Beamer hunting. And then we found out his son works with my brothers in an ISC, so it was a great day. But the main thing we all here, we got maybe a judge that might be in the crowd in a few weeks, huh?
That's right. That's right.
We won't say his name because we can't show
Oh,
favoritism.
okay, we do, but he's all but elected.
I know, but right now we're gonna tell you that this people were a great deal. They've been hunting this 20 years.
20.
Tell us what's your thoughts right now on the 2014 opening.
Well, if today is a sign of what's going to happen during this season, we'll have the most phenomenal season in Vermilion Parish that we've had. It was really fantastic. I have never seen so many ducks on this lease in 20 years, and not just one kind, not just teal, not just mallards, not just squealers, but every kind of duck is out there, and just tons of them. And one of the great things you get to see when you hunt a lease like this is not just the ones that you do shoot and kill and collect, but seeing all the other wildlife that you ride through while you're going and coming. It's fantastic.
Well,
we're just glad you came, and you're always welcome back here.
Oh, you said the wrong thing there with food. And your guides, it was extremely well, and Danny and Larry too, they will always want to be helpful.
That is, this lease wouldn't function without those kind of people. They are the top of the line, dedicated people that make this happen, and we consider them part of our family.
Well, I'm gonna thank you one more time, and I'm gonna tell you what, just what he said. Dr. Phil, we're gonna keep in touch now.
All right,
and
that sounds
your dog did it good. You know, got a little hard-headed, but that's the way Beamer was when he got started. So. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana, and again, this duck season,
Gonna be a good one.
Could be outstanding. Keep watching Paradise, Louisiana.
We build tires, but not tires like anybody else. We build Cooper tires for people, not just cars. People who are chauffeurs and shuttle pilots, heavy haulers and heavy hitters. More than what your Cooper tires can do, it's about what you can do with your Cooper tires. Life's a road trip. Come on, let's go.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Come to the family-owned and operated Cassius Casino in Port Allen today, where the Vegas-style video poker machines are ready for your entertainment. Cassius Casino is the finest, cleanest, classiest casino around. And Cassius 50-style diner is now serving seafood daily, along with your favorite home-cooked specials 24/7. Hey, Cassius is fun. Cassius is exciting. So come to the unsinkable Cassius Casino in Port Allen. Over the river 2 miles west of exit 151.
Hey, this is Roth Walsh. We're here on the second day of opening weekend. We have gone from about 30 degrees and a strong 20-mile-an-hour north wind to almost 70 degrees and a 40-mile-an-hour south wind. So we'll see how the ducks respond, and hopefully they're here this morning.
I'm Russell Saya from Baton Rouge.
Matt Siraj, Baton Rouge.
Matthew Siraj Jr., Baton Rouge.
Connor Garisco, Baton Rouge. Luke Garisco, Baton Rouge.
Get him, get him.
Oh my God, I think that's beautiful. That is one beautiful bird.
You know, we've got a lot of ducks. I mean, we haven't gone 20 seconds sitting in this blind this morning without seeing some duck that's close enough to call in. So we'll just have to see what happens. All Gary has to do is point the gun up there and Phil shoots.
Well, I'm waiting. I kept waiting.
This is what we're going to be killing Catahoula. I could have shot twice, I wouldn't have been eating my biscuit. Couldn't get no better than that. Storms are coming, and it's believing. Gary been hollering already. Say, here, they're 30 minutes away. You can look at the clouds behind our back. We're good.
They're right there. He's on the mark.
I'm so glad that you stayed around and y'all let me come for the second day, because I haven't been shooting. I didn't shoot that well, but just for watching that many ducks. So I want to thank you, Pecan Island Hunt Club, your son who invited me. Ross did a tremendous job. They had a great time Saturday night. Doc, you shot the same thing today. You shot a little quick, though. You got to get somebody else to shot.
Hey, he picked up the slogan, boom, boom, take 'em.
These mallards came down with all this cold weather, and we got lucky and got a good stringer of mallards, a couple pintail, gadwall are down, just a lot of good ducks in southwest Louisiana for opening weekend. We usually don't have this many big ducks on opening weekend, but what we sure did with all that cold weather. So we had a great weekend. Good Ducks Unlimited banquet Friday night, and everybody had a good time.
Let me look at them.
When you're ready to really enjoy life at a slower pace, become a landowner. First South Farm Credit specializes in financing and refinancing land, but not just for farmers. They offer loans to purchase timberland, hunting and fishing, or recreational property. Their experience in land, timber, and loans set them apart from standard lending institutions. Contact a First South Farm Credit Loan Officer for more information. First South Farm Credit, a specialized rural land investment lender helping you realize your dream.
As members of a Touchstone Energy cooperative, we've all got a job to do. And the more we work together, the more we save. That's the power of your co-op membership.
Demco, your Touchstone Energy cooperative.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. We're at TJ Ribs on Acadian in Baton Rouge. Joining us is Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries waterfowl study leader, Larry Reynolds, one of the most popular guys on the block these days. Larry, thanks for coming. And boy, finally some really good news to talk about.
Man, it's always better to be lucky than good. And we were lucky to have a large number of ducks in the state for the opening weekend this past weekend. Flew the survey last week. Got off to a great start on Monday and Tuesday in southwest Louisiana, all the way over to south of Houma. Saw lots of ducks, lots of gadwalls, lots of blue wings still in the state, lots of green wings and shovelers, and we're seeing a good number of scaup, ringnecks, which typically migrate a little bit later. Then we finished up the survey on Friday, and the mouth of the river was absolutely loaded up. The final estimate's going to be over 3 million for the first time since 1995. That's a big improvement over the last few years. So, starting the season at least, we had quite a few ducks in the coastal marshes of Louisiana. Catahoula Lake, we had 140,000, so a little better than last year. Not as good as we've seen in the past, but still solid numbers of pintails, gadwalls, green wings.
It's amazing, though. You know, a lot of people calling us, but they're seeing a lot, I guess, where he was in Catahoula. This old man said he's been hunting for years and years. It's the most he's ever seen. But I guess when you look over the whole picture, where was they concentrated in Catahoula?
At Catahoula Lake?
Yes.
Well, Catahoula Lake, they were concentrated where hunters weren't out brushing their blinds. And so mostly in the northwest, or the northwest corner of the lake. Huge numbers of pintails, huge numbers of pintails.
What were some of the negative spots you saw, Larry, when you flew around states in the southeast? You know, we still getting reports, people at Lafitte says it's just a desert when it comes to ducks.
That's correct. Once we got east of Houma until we got over closer to the river, we saw very few birds. South of Lake Salvador, very disappointing, the number of birds we saw in that part of the marsh. Don't ask me why. I don't know why ducks choose where to be and where not to be.
Is there feed there coming back?
We saw good submerged aquatics in the marshes throughout southeast Louisiana. But if you got good SAVs everywhere, then the ducks are probably not going to be in some places and going to be in others. But in the upper Terrebonne marshes and around the mouth of the river, tremendous numbers of ducks in southeast Louisiana.
Reports from Pension and all of them. We've got pictures coming up later, but the people had a great weekend this past weekend and in the youth hunt. You know, we've been hearing about teal numbers up, teal this, both of them. We're seeing swarms. They almost look like blackbirds, you know, in the southwest. But then in certain areas of the southwest, there's so many spoonbills. Some guys limit out the whole limit on spoonbills. Is there any answer for that? You're always good to come up with an answer.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at the population information, especially for shovelers. Shovelers are over 100% higher than the long-term average. We've got shovelers up the wazoo on the breeding grounds. We've got spoonies. We've got nothing to worry about population-wise as far as spoonies are concerned, and we're not shy about taking them down here. It's always good to have birds to look at while you're out there hunting. And I think shoveler populations are going to be in good shape for years to come.
Larry, the coastal and western zones, with few exceptions, opened the rave reviews last weekend.
Yes.
What can the hunters in the east zone that's opening up this weekend, based on your flyovers and also based on the youth hunt, what will they expect to see?
Well, I expect to see good numbers in northeast Louisiana. We're going to start that survey on Monday. Catahoula Lake numbers were pretty good. The habitat at Catahoula Lake is not very good this year compared to years past. So the fact that we saw more birds at Catahoula Lake this year than we saw at this time last year points to an earlier migration. We're going to learn a lot more on Monday and Tuesday what to expect in northeast Louisiana.
Well, to wrap up, could this be that banner year where the moon, the sun, the stars all align, good flight numbers coming down, habitat in good shape from lack of storms in the southeast and the coastal area, and some weather? Could this be the year? Should we run out and get more shells?
Absolutely, positively not. And you know why, Don? Because of last year. What you just said was exactly what we said last year. And we got that cold weather in late November and December, and what happened? We didn't get even average numbers of ducks in the state until January. So, guys, it's a natural world. The natural world is highly variable.
Let me top this off to tell you that you know, we was in that, we started great and we ended bad, but you know, while we was there, to expound on, we're gonna come back later and we're gonna ask him some more questions, but when I was at the DU banquet in Pecan Island, we run into the CEO of Ducks Unlimited, made the trip, hunting with Billy, and we got his words. We got a few short words from Dale Hall, CEO of Ducks Unlimited.
Well, I'll tell you, first of all, we need to understand that this is a historic year for bird counts. In the traditional survey areas that have been going on since 1955, we counted 49.2 million nesting birds. That's the highest number ever since 1955. That will equate into somewhere between 120 and 140 million birds in the flyways, all 4 flyways coming down. That's huge. That's a lot of birds. But that really has a lot to do with Canadian nesting grounds and the North American nesting grounds. But it also has to do with these wintering grounds right here. Without the fat supplies and without the protein for eggshell development for mama duck to be able to have that strength and that energy budget to fly all the way back up north and lay those eggs successfully, it couldn't happen. So Louisiana and the Gulf Coast is huge in making sure this population stays strong. I think that the largest challenge is to figure out how to pay for it all. The Louisiana Master Plan would call for a minimum of $50 billion to be able to accomplish what it wants to accomplish. So you're going to have Restore Act monies really dedicated to what they're supposed to be dedicated to, but that's not going to be enough. We're going to have real private industry investment. And we're going to have people working together, bringing money to the table, restoring these wetlands, and figuring out how to make money on it. Profit is not a bad word. We need to have companies want to restore wetlands so that they can make a profit off of it, because that benefits all of us. But that's going to be a long-term challenge for us to figure out how to make everything work.
Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change has been keeping cars and trucks in Baton Rouge clean and running smooth for over 50 years. At Benny's, we feature professional car washing, complete detailing, high-tech waxing and buffing, interior cleaning, and tire shine. Benny's, one stop for car maintenance with complete oil and lube services and even state inspections at our express locations. Visit one of our 5 convenient locations, including our newest store on Greenwell Springs Road. And don't forget to stop by Be Quick Convenience Store and Fuel Stop. Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change. Drive in dirty, drive out clean.
We're watching Paradise from Louisiana from Pecan Island. Wish y'all were here.
Introducing Powerade Ion 4, complete with 4 electrolytes lost in sweat. Powerade Ion 4, the complete sports drink.
Come to the family-owned and operated Cassius Casino in Port Allen today, where the Vegas-style video poker machines are ready for your entertainment. Cash's Casino is the finest, cleanest, classiest casino around. And Cash's 50 Style Diner is now serving seafood daily, along with your favorite home-cooked specials 24/7. Hey, Cash's is fun. Cash's is exciting. So come to the unsinkable Cash's Casino in Port Allen. Over the river 2 miles west of exit 151.
Welcome back to Paradise, Louisiana. We're at TJ Ribs on Acadian in Baton Rouge. With us is the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries Waterfowl Study Leader, the guy in charge of the ducks, Larry Reynolds. And let's talk about some of the hunts that went on this past weekend. I got excellent reports on the radio show. People calling me from their duck blinds. Ryan Lambert reported a really wide variety of ducks: pintails, grays, widgeons, shovelers, green-winged teal, blue-winged teal. It was all there. The action was steady. Over in the Delacroix area, Chris Pike had 3 limits of birds by 6:30, and shooting hours started at 6 o'clock. And those were all choice birds. Those were grays, pintails, and redheads was all that they shot. Green-winged teal were off the charts. I got reports from some of the people on the west side over in the Pecan Island area. It wasn't quite as fast, but they were taking their time. I'll tell you what, guys, this may have been the best opening weekend that I can ever remember in doing 26 years of covering duck opening days.
Well, from the southwest, and we got to hunt with a group of people at Pecan Island, and I'm going to tell you about some great hosts. What's name don't want to take a chance? We had, when I'm talking about who don't want to take a chance, I'm talking about the guy with the chicken fingers. You know, Todd Graves, he didn't want to take a chance again to run it. We had 2 years good in a row, but he got up late, he came in late, and they on one of his many leases, they did tremendous too. Always. The kids got to shoot. It was good. They were decoying good. Had a lot of grays, had a few pintail. What we killed in our blind on second day was camelback. We had 2 camelbacks came in. Then again, the spoonies were dominant, and the teal were unbelievable. I'm talking about flocks. It looked like Argentina. Couldn't believe it. I mean, Mr. Alan Walsh, they've been hunting for years with my dentist buddy, and they just could not believe, and they hunt there all the time. He said, I've never seen like this with the teal. They must go back to 1955, and they've been there 20 and 30 years. So
well, that's outstanding news for me, because the better the hunting is, the better my job is to do. I think that's consistent with what I saw during the aerial surveys. We had a very high November estimate. I personally was hunting in the Creole area with a couple of old friends. We saw lots of teal, gadwalls, and shovelers. Every report I got from that area, a couple of my colleagues at Wildlife and Fisheries have had marginal success on their lease over the last couple of years, had really good limits, like you said, redheads, gadwalls, lots and lots of teal. And so I had friends in Delacroix that sent their reports. It was good. I got one bad report over the weekend, and it was from one of the Wildlife and Fisheries commissioners. And it was just 2 words: not good. So I know it wasn't great for everybody, but it seems that it was overwhelmingly an excellent weekend.
We got words. The first day was very good, and the other one was a little bit slower, especially with the teal, because the teal were moving so much from one area to the next. But 2 days more, we had a lot of teal. But I got a report, what I was really surprised, from the Bayou Pension, Terrebonne area. You said the flyovers said it was birds. They were guys. Jody Wagensback called me, had 2 kids. They were just doing a tremendous job. Excellent. And they're doing that. And then the speckled bellies were all over. One of our future hunts will be coming up with Clint Matthews out of Kaplan. He had 5 guides out there Saturday. They killed a 30 goose limit. They had 1 snow and a bunch of mallards that just came in with the goose blind. So I want to thank Clint. We'll be with Clint in a couple of weeks. And another thing is around the Port Arthur area, people were limiting out on specs.
Excellent.
All in all, it's been a great opening. And Larry, one thing we've learned, you know, just because it's been good now, we can't count on that for the rest of the season. But it couldn't have been a better start.
That's fantastic. But I know for a fact that come early to mid-January, I'm going to be getting calls about tons and tons of gadwalls rafted up out in the middle of Lake Leary, and they just won't move. And
somebody going to get judged. You had a good year last year. Your last few hunts, I remember correctly. I got a good memory. You had a good hunt on your list.
I did well for sure. But As the waterfowl study leader in the state of Louisiana, my hunting's irrelevant. It's how everybody else does that makes my job easy to do or difficult to do.
Like a college coach. You
do a great job.
That's right.
They're going to be on the bandwagon one week and next week.
That's right.
Thanks for taking time coming out with us.
I appreciate you guys.
And we'll see you again later in the year for sure.
All right.
We'll be right back with more. You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
When you're ready to really enjoy life at a slower pace, become a landowner. First South Farm Credit specializes in financing and refinancing land, but not just for farmers. They offer loans to purchase timberland, hunting and fishing, or recreational property. Their experience in land, timber, and loans set them apart from standard lending institutions. Contact a First South Farm Credit loan officer for more information. First South Farm Credit, a specialized rural land investment lender helping you realize your dream.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
It's that time of year to get your gear. Visit ParadiseLouisiana.com and click Shop to get your official merchandise online. Whether hunting, fishing, or just enjoying, all Louisiana has to offer. Get geared up at ParadiseLouisiana.com.
The Louisiana Wildlife Federation is the oldest nonprofit conservation group in Louisiana. Formed by sportsmen in 1940 to protect your right to access and enjoy healthy fisheries and wildlife habitats statewide, LWF represents the voice of Louisiana's outdoors, both in the field and at the Capitol. LWF also supports the Vanishing Paradise campaign that advocates for critical restoration in the Delta and on the coast. Speak up for our state. Become an LWF member today.
Let me introduce y'all to another Louisiana champion, Brett Pruitt, the Bass Cohort College champion, 2014. And Brett, we're going to show all of Louisiana and maybe half of the south part of the country right now, introduce you, who don't know you. But anybody in bass fishing definitely knows who you are, Brett.
Born and raised in Pineville, Louisiana, and I grew up, went to high school at Tioga, Louisiana, and ended up going to University of Louisiana Monroe and helped start a fishing team over there. And I got my undergraduate in management and just finished my master's last semester in business. So and now I'm out here living the dream, about to go fish the Bassmasters Classic. I used to play baseball and stuff until I had an accident, and baseball was my first dream. But after that happened, I started developing a dream of becoming a professional fisherman, and so that's been the plan all along, even as soon as I started fishing in college, and I got the degree and stuff in case it didn't work, but all along I was going to give it everything I had to make it professional fishing.
Well, I tell you what, y'all stay tuned. We're going to go fish. We're at Eyed Lake, right here out of Boyce. Am I correct?
Colfax, Louisiana.
Colfax, okay. But it's all in the central part of the state, and what's amazing about this part of the state, 1 hour from Alexandria, less than 1 hour, there's about 12 beautiful lakes, including you go an hour and a half, you'll be at Toledo Bend, so it's amazing. As we go along, we're at our lake, we're gonna go see how this guy fishes, how he sets up his game plan for the Bassmaster Classic 2015. So stay tuned, you're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Eyed Lake's made up of a few little creeks and not too much. The average depth of the lake's probably 6 foot deep, and the major creek in it's only 10 foot, so you don't normally get anywhere over 10 foot in this lake. And those sloughs and creeks are normally a 2 foot depth change in this lake is a major factor, because them fish relate to something a little bit deeper since everything else is the same depth. First bass in my new boat right here. It's a pretty fella from Eyed Lake, and ate one of the new cream swim baits, the real screamer. So at least I got the first one.
Yeah, that's for you, Gary Krause. You're lucky. He didn't want me to catch the first one. He had pressure on it, but Gary, Came out like you wanted, Gary Krause. I've been in a boat with other people fishing this Alabama rig, and I got some at home I ain't had a chance to try, but this is it. This is Alabama rig. It's so much fun. All y'all bass fishers know what I'm talking about. Probably caught a lot of fish on them. I love to throw one of these to Lake Lorto or Old River in Morganza just to see what would happen when the cycle is on their run. Or the crappie, or the white perch. So it's a lob, but not a cast, it's a lob. The water's clear, I'm gonna bring it to you.
The way the Carhartt College Bass series works is there's a qualifiers, and you have to come in the top 10 in that qualifier. And our qualifier was on the Washita River, in Monroe, and they take the top 10 from 4 different regions and a wild card tournament to come up with the field that you fish against in the national championship. So you got some of the best competitors and teams all over the country from competing against each other in the national championship. There's a good one. Come on, baby. Eat it. Oh, man. Could y'all tell if that was a bass, that big one? Or was it? I got hooks in me fishing all the time. It was just, people back home just probably thought it was funny because they see me get hooked and get hurt 1,000 times. So I guess it was just instincts and wanting to win, the competitive side of me, just pick up another rod and try to catch one. So, and I knew my dream, I had the dreams on the line going to the Classic, and I wasn't gonna let nothing stop me. If I had lost my foot that day, they would have had to force me to leave or something. There's no way I would have left under any circumstances unless it was just physically impossible. If I left it like that, you think I can fish with it?
Yeah, I think you can fish with it fine. It ain't gonna probably catch on nothing. I mean, it ain't.
Oh, the bait's already out?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh. I didn't know there was I thought the bait was, where'd the bait go?
It's in the floor down there.
All right, yeah, let's go. All right, we're good. There's still excitement. There's still that initial excitement just thinking about it, like when Dave Mercer told me there's only 600 people in the world that's fished the Classic. I mean, that's just exciting to me.
Tremendously excited, not only about the victory that he had, but the whole college program, what ULM has done for Brett and Paul Clark have done for you and the whole team up there. And I really came back with that feeling that it was not only that Brett was victorious up at Lake Chateau, but it was ULM as a team, and that's what I really feel like that the whole accomplishment was, not just Brett winning and getting the opportunity of a lifetime to fish the Bassmasters Classic.
I don't ever cry, and pretty much tears came to my eyes when I caught that bass, and I thought at that moment I was going to the Classic, and then the weigh-in that day, it was just, I can't explain to you the excitement I felt inside. It's just, it's awesome thinking about it, and it still is that initial excitement thinking about it when I wake up in the morning. It's still there. So. Nice healthy fish. Pretty bass. If you're coming in this area around our Ayat Lake or any of these lakes that's so good in the near area, there's certain things you can do this time of year that normally catches fish. It's just kind of fall pattern, and you can normally use some crankbaits, some moving baits, and things like that. Alabama rigs work real good when it's cold. And jigs and stuff on wood and other objects work too. And if you want to go to Ayat Lake, you come off Highway 71 there is, and look for Hyatt Lake Dam site, or just Google it on the map. There's only one landing for it, and there's another lake north of Hyatt called Nantachi that offers some really good fishing too. You want to try to find the shad this time of year, and look for the white birds, because for instance we wasn't catching much at all, and we just caught 2 fish when we found the white birds just now. So it's a look for your shad, look for your birds, and use moving baits, and if that don't work, then slow down with the jig or something around some wood. But that's some good ways to catch them this time of year in Louisiana. Around that white birds. Chunky fish right there. I need 5 of these to start out with every morning at Hartwell. He ate that cream, that new cream reel screamer.
Brett, I want to thank you for a little guided tour here. Now you see why I call it the Black Cloud sometimes, but you did good. Learned a lot from you at a young age. Brett, what got you started? Who got you started fishing? Tell us how young you were and who got you started.
Well, you see, I started at a young age. Ever since I was 2 and 3 years old, my mom and dad had me in the boat I'd fish for a while. They put me under an umbrella when it got too hot and everything. And even when I was 6 years old, my stepdad Joe, he taught me how to flip a jig and flip any type of plastic and fish a bait caster when I was only 6. I grew up actually out here on Hyatt fishing for brim, bass, white perch, anything you can think of. I just love being outside and I love fishing, and my whole family had something to do with that. Just my grandparents, my mom, dad, stepdad, everybody. Yeah.
That's the question I want to ask you. What do you want the rest of the people to know about Brett Pruitt?
I just want everybody to know that I'm just really competitive. I've played baseball and had accidents in my life, and but I just want to know everything happens for a reason. I came closer to God, and I just believe that I don't know if this is my path, but it's just I'm just blessed to be fishing in the Classic.
I want to thank both your stepdad and your dad and your mom and them for the hospitality. I guess the next time I'll see you will be in South Carolina in February. Well, I better rephrase that. Maybe we'll say Mr. Gary Krause will see you in South Carolina. You might not want me there. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Here we are.
Sorry we didn't get on them really good, but
oh, we got enough fish. 2014 Carhart and Bass Carhart College National Champion.
Fishing. It's where good stories come from. It's about good times and family and friends. It's about taking a couple home for dinner tonight and saving a few for tomorrow. It's all about that and so much more. To CCA, fishing is about enjoying today and making sure tomorrow is even better. To us, fishing comes with a responsibility for the resources we enjoy so much. If fishing means all that to you, then you belong with CCA.
You're watching Paradise, Louisiana.
Who doesn't want to save money on fuel? Now, Shell and the Fuel Rewards Network are putting you in control of how much you pay for fuel. Simply buy whatever's on your shopping list. Clothes, groceries, even dinner out. And earn cents per gallon savings at participating retailers nationwide. Now, fuel prices are in your hands. So why wait? Sign up at fuelrewards.com today and turn shopping power into saving power.
Welcome to the Berkeley Abu Garcia Fishing Report, which is great. Before we get to some of this great fishing, let's talk a little bit about deer hunting. We did a lot of duck hunting reports, but the deer hunting has been pretty good. A lot of success out there.
There's a lot of success, a lot of big deer, especially coming from the central part of the state. They're right. It must be all the way on. Mike Clark and his wife and them are doing it. Killed a big old tremendous hog the other day on his stand. And when we was there doing the fishing show, most of those guys were just bragging about all the deer they're killing in the central part of the state. I even got a report from the north part of the state in the northeast. Kobe Daniels said any little boy and them was seeing some deer, and the boy killed a big one. A lot of girls killing their first deer. We got a bunch of pictures come in. My brother and them, I ain't heard too much from them right there in the St. Francisville area or the West Felicianas, but we getting some reports of people killing those and kids and little girls, and that's what we really like.
Yeah. Well, my niece's fiance, he got his buck with his crossbow over on the Lake Ramsey Wildlife Management area, and now that we got more areas opening up with the modern firearms, it's only going to get better. So send us your pictures, Gary at Paradise, Louisiana, not just your deer or duck pictures, but also those fishing pictures. Speaking of fishing, the speckled trout have turned on. Other than the wind and the fronts creating dirty water problems, all you got to do is go if you want to catch speckled trout. I mean, we had a good trip in Lafitte. They even catching speckled trout off the side of the road in Bayou Lutra down in Shell Beach and Hopedale. You know how the redfish get stacked up in there when it's cold? They were catching limits, 25 fish per person from the bank down there.
We named some lakes where everybody, like you said, catching fish. Lake Michon, they're catching fish again down in that area, in the large area. Lake Decade, all y'all guys that fish Lake Decade, you know right now you can catch them all day long. Not under cork now. They fishing the green hornet, they fishing the gulp, they catching, by the way, flounder running still on in Big Lake over there by the ship channel. Gulp is still the best bait. I know the guys that sell other baits, they said even live bait, a gulp shrimp, outfish anything you can, or a gulp minnow. As long as they got that smell on the bottom, they'll catch a flounder every time.
One other spot you don't want to overlook as we get close to Thanksgiving, traditionally, that sulfur mine area. It gets really active on the speckled trout.
Then I'm going to tell you, I got that report. Everybody's telling me the sulfur mine right now. The colder the weather gets, the more they'll go. They'll find them depots, and when it warms up, they'll pull up on the shore. Another secret in Lake Decatur, I want to remind you again, if you see the birds, you put that cork on. But they catching these fish, it's slow bite when it's cold, on the bottom, and just moving. A smoke is another good color they're using by catching them.
Well, you got a lot of things to choose from that we've told you. Duck hunting, deer hunting, small game hunting, and of course the fishing is really good too.
Yeah, if y'all give me a satellite report, we ready. Here we go, people. There it is, you see it? This is it, right here. This is one of the prizes we're gonna be giving away. That's the St. Hubert's Prayer to Hunters. Thank you for the prayer. Don't forget the gift boxes. Y'all come here. We will be here. There it is, Louisiana gift box. Very good, popular outing.
We tape on Sundays, 5 to 7 here at TJ Ribs on Acadian. Come by and see us and talk a little bit of hunting and fishing with us. And we'll see you again next week right back here on Paradise, Louisiana.
Paradise, Louisiana, with Gary Risponi and Don Dubuque. Paradise, Louisiana would also like to thank these sponsors.
Baton Rouge Coca-Cola Bottling Company, Benny's Car Wash and Oil Change, Cracker Barrel Convenience Stores. We have more than you expect. Always fresh, never frozen, Raising Cane. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana, Farm Bureau Insurance, Louisiana Fish Fry Products, Demco, First South Farm Credit, Area Wholesale Tire Company, and tire programs for tire dealers.